It's happened. This is not a drill. This is the moment we've been waiting for. This is the pivot point. This is the decision that will echo in history books for 100 years. Forget everything you thought you knew about the balance of power in Ukraine. Forget the endless, grinding stalemate of the trenches. Just moments ago, the Pentagon, the beating heart of American military might, gave the green light. The weapon? The BGM-109 Tomahawk land attack cruise missile. The target, the heart of Russia. Right now, as we speak, the only thing standing between Russia's war machine and absolute annihilation is a single signature on a desk in the White House. The assessment is done. The stockpiles have been counted. The Pentagon has assessed the global threat environment and come to one earth-shattering conclusion. The United States has so many of these advanced God-tier weapons that giving a batch to Ukraine wouldn't even be felt. Let that sink in. America can change the entire course of a continental war with weapons it considers expendable. But why now? Why this sudden, cataclysmic escalation? Because Putin crossed a line. He got arrogant. For months, and specifically 23 times since August, Russia has been launching its own terror weapon, the 9M7229 missile. If that sounds familiar, it should. That's the exact missile, the SSC-8, that was so dangerous, so destabilizing, that it single-handedly forced President Trump to rip up the INF Treaty, the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. One of those missiles flew 745 nautical miles deep into Ukraine, killing civilians. Putin has been testing the West, prodding the cage, laughing as he uses a treaty-breaking, nuclear-capable weapon to terrorize a civilian population. He thought he was playing chess. He didn't realize America was about to flip the entire board. Ukraine has just been handed a 1,000 nautical mile answer to Russia's provocations. That's 1,600 kilometers. This isn't just a weapon. This is a strategic revolution. And today, we are going to break down in excruciating detail exactly why the Tomahawk Block 5 is a technological demon that Russia has no answer for. We're diving deep into the body, the engine, the brains, and the hellfire this thing will unleash. Strap in. This is going to be a wild ride. The ghost in the machine. First, let's talk about the body of this beast. Are you a body person or a brains person? Well, guess what? The Tomahawk is a perfect 10 in both. When you picture a cruise missile, you probably picture a simple pipe with wings. That is not what this is. The Tomahawk Block 5 is an 18.5-foot-long masterpiece of kinetic death wrapped in a skin so advanced it borders on science fiction. The entire airframe is coated in layers of specialized radar-absorbent paint and advanced composites. This isn't just stealthy. This thing is a ghost. Its entire purpose is to be invisible. Let's talk technical. Let's talk about radar cross-section, or RCS. This is the size of an object as seen on an enemy radar screen. A massive B-52 bomber? That's about 100 square meters. A modern fighter like an F-16? Maybe 1 to 5 square meters. The Tomahawk Block 5? Its RCS is rumored to be smaller than 0.01 square meters. That is not a typo. It is 1/100th of a square meter. To a Russian S-400 radar system, their supposed invincible air defense, this 3,300-pound missile looks smaller than a seagull. It is an impossible targeting problem. It will be dismissed as ground clutter, as a weather anomaly, as a ghost in the signal. By the time they realize that ghost is real, the target is already a crater. But it gets worse for them. This missile doesn't fly high. It flies low, insanely low. We're talking 100 to 300 feet off the ground. It uses its own built-in radar altimeter to hug the terrain. It will fly down into valleys, up over hills, and skim the treetops. It is literally flying underneath the radar coverage of 99% of Russia's air defense network. You can't see it, you can't detect it, and you sure as hell can't catch it. You think Russia's vaunted Su-57 or Su-35s can intercept this? How? Their look-down, shoot-down radar is a joke. Trying to find this tiny, cold, low-flying missile against the ground clutter, the background noise of hills, trees, and buildings, is a needle in a trillion haystacks problem. Their pilots won't see it on radar, they won't see it with their eyes, and they won't see it on infrared. And if it does get detected, if some lucky conscript in a Panzer system actually sees it in the final seconds? The Tomahawk has one last trick. This airframe, built of advanced titanium and carbon fiber, can pull 20 Gs. Let me say that again. 20 Gs. A top-tier fighter pilot in a $100 million jet blacks out at 9 Gs. This missile can perform maneuvers that would liquefy a human pilot without snapping in half. It can jink, dodge, and weave in its terminal phase, making it a nightmare for any last-ditch cannon or missile defense. It's a stealthy, terrain-hugging, 20G-pulling acrobatic phantom, and it's heading for Putin's backyard. The 1,000-mile Prius of Death. So, how does this 18.5-foot Phantom cross 1,000 nautical miles of hostile territory? It does it with one of the most brilliant engines ever created, the Williams F107 turbofan. This engine is tiny. It's only about 2.5 feet long. But it is the absolute pinnacle of efficiency. It sips fuel. It only needs about 450 pounds of JP-8 jet fuel to fly for over 1,000 nautical miles. This insane efficiency is why we call it the Tomahawk Prius. It's a hybrid of death. It gets the job done by being quiet, efficient, and relentlessly effective. It's the silent killer. This efficiency gives the Tomahawk two terrifying advantages. First, the range. A 1,000 nautical mile, 1,600 kilometers range is not tactical. It is deeply strategic. Let's pull up a map. A Tomahawk launched from near Kherson can reach Sevastopol, the Kerch Bridge, and every single Russian military base in Crimea. A Tomahawk launched from Kharkiv can hit Moscow. A Tomahawk launched from anywhere in central Ukraine can reach the Engels II Air Force Base, the home of Russia's strategic Tu-95 and Tu-160 bombers that have been terrorizing Ukrainian cities. There is no safe place left. Every command bunker, every ammo dump, every fuel depot, every airbase, every critical rail bridge deep inside Russia is now on the menu. Second, the loiter. This thing is so efficient, it can stay in the air for up to 6 hours. This is the real 3D chess move. This isn't a fire-and-forget weapon. This is a fire-and-stalk weapon. Ukraine can launch these missiles and have them fly to a loiter box, a designated patch of sky, and just circle. They can just wait, silently, for hours, acting as a missile on call. They can wait for a satellite to confirm a high-value target has arrived. They can wait for a team of special forces on the ground to light up a target. They can wait for exactly the right moment, and then the order is given via satellite link, and the loitering missile instantly becomes a 550-knot inbound killer. It is a predator that can stalk its prey for hours before striking. And to make it even more impossible to stop, this engine is cold. The Block 5's engine design cuts its heat signature by 40% compared to older versions. Why does that matter? Because Russia's best jets, the Su-35 and Su-57, rely heavily on their infrared search and track (IRST) systems to find stealth targets. This is a passive heat seeker, but the Tomahawk's engine is so cold, so efficient, that it's almost invisible to infrared. So, let's review. You have a missile that's invisible to radar, invisible to infrared, flies too low to be seen, and can stay in the air for 6 hours just waiting for you. This isn't a weapon. It's a nightmare. The god-tier brain. If the body is a phantom and the engine is a marathon runner, the brain of the Tomahawk is a supercomputer with an Ivy League degree in violence. This is what separates the Tomahawk from everything Russia has. Russia's 9M729 is a dumb club. The Tomahawk is a surgeon's scalpel. It starts its flight with a ring laser gyro IMU, internal measurement unit, which is a fancy way of saying it always knows where it is, which way it's pointing, and how fast it's going, with no outside help. Then, it updates itself mid-course with GPS-aided INS, internal navigation system. But Max, you say, Russia is a world leader in GPS jamming. They'll just jam it. Laughable. The Block 5. Tomahawk has an advanced, hardened, military-grade anti-jam GPS receiver. It can filter out Russia's jamming signals and find the true satellite signal with terrifying precision. Even in a high jam environment, it barely drifts. But let's say, for the sake of argument, Russia manages the impossible. Let's say they create a GPS-denied bubble so powerful that nothing can get a signal. The Tomahawk's response? I don't care. The moment it loses GPS, the real brain kicks in. It defaults to two of the most terrifying guidance acronyms in the entire US arsenal: TURKCOM and DSMAC. First, TURKCOM, terrain countermatching. This is the mid-course brilliance. The Tomahawk turns on its own radar, but it's not looking for targets. It's looking down. It scans the physical contours of the earth passing beneath it, the hills, the valleys, the rivers, and it compares that real-time 3D map to a perfect, digitized 3D map stored in its memory. It matches the terrain. It cannot get lost. As long as the ground exists, the Tomahawk knows exactly where it is. It will follow this terrain map all the way to the target area, and that's when the real magic happens. Second, DSMAC, Digital Scene Matching Area Correlator. This is the terminal phase. This is the last 10 seconds of the target's life. This is pure science fiction. The Tomahawk's GPS is off. Its TURKCOM radar is off. It goes completely passive and opens its eye, a high-resolution infrared camera. It starts taking pictures of the target area, snapping a new frame every few seconds. Its onboard computer then compares these live IR photos to a library of 2,000 stored digital images of the target. It's not matching coordinates. It's matching pixels. It's matching the scene. It sees the image. There's the command building. There's the barracks next to it. There's the specific third-floor window I was told to find. It correlates the live image with the stored image and adjusts its flight path in milliseconds. This is how the Tomahawk achieves a circular error probability, CEP, of under 10 feet, 3 meters. It won't just hit the building. It will fly through the specific window. It won't just hit the airbase. It will land on the cockpit of the Su-57 parked on the tarmac. And when it arrives, it delivers its 945-pound smart fuse warhead This isn't just a bomb, it's a warhead with options. 1. Impact. It explodes on contact. Simple, effective. 2. Airburst. It detonates 165 feet above the target, raining thousands of high-velocity fragments down. This is devastating for soft targets like radar arrays, fuel trucks, helicopter pads, and troop concentrations. 3. Delayed bunker buster. The warhead hits, the fuse waits a few milliseconds, and the missile punches deep into a hardened concrete bunker or a bridge pylon, and then it explodes from the inside out. This is a weapon that cannot be jammed, cannot be seen, cannot be fooled, and can choose how it wants to kill you. The 3D chess move. So what does this mean on the battlefield? It means Ukraine is no longer just playing defense. It's about to go on the offensive in a way that will paralyze the Russian military. This isn't just about blowing things up. It's about systemic collapse. Ukraine will plug these missiles into its C4I network: command, control, communications, computers, and intelligence. They will be launched from unassuming trucks, guerrilla warfare style, from a highway, and then disappear. Let's paint 3 pictures. 3 scenarios of hell. Scenario 1. The death of the Black Sea Fleet. Target: Sevastopol Harbor, Crimea. The strike. 24. Tomahawks launch from trucks near Odessa. They drop to 150 feet, skimming the dark waves of the Black Sea. Russian radars on the coast see nothing. A small decoy group of drones flies high to the north, and the S-400s waste millions of dollars in missiles shooting at ghosts. The impact. The real Tomahawk pack follows the coastline, hugging the cliffs, completely masked. They pop up over the harbor. The first wave, using delayed fused warheads, punches through the hulls of 2 Russian destroyers, detonating inside their ammo magazines. A catastrophic chain reaction. The second wave airbursts over the helicopter pads and fuel depots, shredding assets and igniting the port. The result: the Black Sea Fleet is cut off, sinking and burning. Scenario 2. Starving the war machine. Target: a major Russian oil refinery 560 miles from the border. The strike. 18. Tomahawks fly a complex dogleg route using Turkcom to navigate a GPS-jammed landscape. They fly between known air defense sites. The impact. The first wave is programmed for airburst. They detonate over the complex, ripping up the fragile pumps and igniting 200,000 barrels of oil a day in a massive fireball. The follow-up wave, on delayed fuse, punches into the hardened control rooms and shatters the pipelines. The result: Russia's POL, petroleum, oil, and lubricants. Industry takes a crippling blow. Their tanks and jets start to run dry. Scenario 3. Snapping the spine of logistics. Target: the vital rail yards at Rostov-on-Don. The strike. 32 Tomahawks launch in a massive volley. They cover 400 miles at 200 feet, following the river to stay masked from radar. The impact. One group hits the rail bridges with delayed fuses, cracking the supports and dropping the tracks into the water. The second group finds the trains full of ammo and fuel waiting in the yard. 132,000 gallons of fuel go up in a fireball that can be seen from space. The result: the entire Russian southern front is cut off. No ammo, no fuel, no reinforcements. They are left to wither and die. The game has changed. This is the new reality. Putin wanted to play tough with his nuclear-capable 9M729. He was frustrated. He wasn't getting the gains he wanted. He saw the West stepping up, and he decided to rattle his saber. Well, the Pentagon just called his bluff. The Tomahawk gives Ukraine a symmetric response. It is a next-level, advanced, genius weapon that gives Ukraine the power to inflict crippling, strategic pain directly on Russia's war production industry. This is the kind of force that could finally push Moscow to the negotiating table. This could be the weapon that ends this endless grind, or it could be the spark that makes Putin, cornered and furious, rattle his nuclear sword even harder. The game is changing by the second. The Tomahawk is the ultimate deep strike ghost, and it's about to be unleashed. But I want to hear from you. What do you think of this? Is this the silver bullet Ukraine has been waiting for? And what do you think Russia's unhinged, desperate response will be? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is Navycast, signing off.